Nevada Virtual Academy, good morning. Are you ready for the proficiency exam yet? Are you? Aren't you? Well, eventually you will be ready. We have less than 34 days now um, until the first chance for you to pass the proficiency exam for the school year will be offered, will be given. So do all your best, do the work, keep pushing for it, stay put, focus, watch these videos, try to solve problems on your own, learn test taking strategies, and answer all the questions, and you should be fine. Okay, now we did solve similar problems with this one in the previous encounters that we have, right? Problem number 16, factor x squared minus 10x minus 24. Okay, and you have four options: A, B, C, and D. And there are many ways in which you can solve this problem. First one is eventually to look at your possible options and see if they will be, fit for the given trinomial here. And you may have different approaches here. I mean, one would be to check the first term in each one of your given, products, right? Looking at the first term and the first term in the second binomial, x all over, x times x is x squared, so this is good. I cannot eliminate any one of them. Then you should check the last term in each one of the binomials here and see if their product is going to be the last term that you have in your trinomial. What you have, first one, first of all, because the last one is negative, you're looking for different signs in both binomials, and both have, the two of them have different signs, so I cannot cross any one off. They're working so far. Then you have what? 6 times 4, 24. Good. 4 times 6, 24. 2 times 4, 24. So we cannot eliminate any one of them by that approach. The other way will be to basically go ahead and FOIL each one of these products. You go that way. That is another way in which you can basically figure out what is the right factorization of that. Okay, or you can start by saying, hey, definitely is going to be x as the first term in each one of them, right? And then I will definitely have different signs inside. Why is that so? Because the last term here in your trinomial is the product of the last terms in each one of your binomials, and because one is negative, one is positive, their product is going to be negative, and that's why I need to have negative positive. Next thing, you're taking your last term, okay? That's negative 24. And you're looking for factors of negative 24 that will add up to negative 10. And the factors are already given to you, all right? The factors are given to you. You have, these numbers here. And for each one of the problems, 6 times 4, negative 6 times 4, which is the first one, right? So I have what? I have, let me use a different color. I'm taking the option A, negative 6 and positive 4. If you're looking here, yes indeed, negative 6 times 4 is negative 24. We already checked that. Next, you have to check if the sum of these two numbers will be equal to the coefficient of the middle term, the first degree x, right? Is negative 6 plus 4 equals to negative 10? Well, I don't think so. And that's why A is not a good answer. Moving on to the next one. Okay, I have what? I have negative 4 and 6. Well, is it negative 4 plus 6 equal to negative 10? I don't think so. Not good. Moving on to the next one. Your numbers in this case are what? Negative 2 and 12. And yes, indeed, negative 2 times 12 is going to be negative 24. So from that perspective, they're good. However, I'm looking at the middle term here, the middle coefficient, and I need to have that negative 2 plus 12 should be equal to negative 10. Be careful. Is that so? No. Negative 2 plus 12 is positive 10. It's not good. And the only option you have left here is D. D, because in D, or it should be D, you know, you may check, because eventually if there is any mistake, you may figure it out now that you made a mistake somewhere. And I have negative 12 and 2. Negative 12 times 2 is negative 24. All good. Now I have to check the middle term here. Is it negative 12 plus 2 equal to negative 10? What do you guys think? Well, I will say yes. Yes, it is. And because of that, and because of everything else we said here, this is the answer. I have x minus 12 times x plus 2. That's the answer to this problem. That's how you solve it. It's not the only way, okay? Like I've showed you, you can go FOIL and you know, do FOIL on each one of them, and whichever will give you x squared minus 10x minus 24, that will be the answer. But the way we solve it was a little bit different. That's what you have to do for similar problems. And remember, guys, if by any reason you cannot figure it out, you don't remember how to factor it, but you remember the quadratic formula. You guys remember the quadratic formula? First of all, you know, think about delta, your discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. I will do that first. And for the given problem, first identify what is your a, what is your b, what is your c coefficients. And you have in mind that any quadratic equation in standard form will be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, okay? And in this case, what do you have? A is whatever coefficient you have here by your x squared, which is 1, is not showing, right? So your A equals 1. B is your x coefficient, which is negative 10. C is your phi term, your constant there, which is negative 24. Next step, you can plug them in and find what is delta. And what is delta? B squared. Negative 10 squared is going to be positive 10 squared, or, you know, 100. I'm sorry, not 100 squared. 100. Okay, that's going to be 100. Minus 4 times A, 4 times 1, times what? C, times negative 24. And what is your delta? Well, I have 100 minus 4 times 24. Well, minus here, this one and that one will become plus, right? And you have 4 times 24. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1, 96. And what you get here is 196. And because this one is greater than 0, you may say, yes, I have two solutions, right? I've got two roots. Remember, quadratic, when you talk about roots, you talk about solutions. You mean the same thing. Roots and solutions are the same. Now, you move on and you're trying to find what your solutions are. And for that, using the quadratic formula, which says that x1, 2, which are the two roots, your solutions would be minus b plus minus square root of your delta, your discriminant, your b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Plug in everything that you know. Minus b minus negative 10 is going to be positive 10 plus minus square root of 196, which is your delta, right? Over 2 times a over 2 times 1, which is 2. And then you have 10 plus or minus square root of 196. You guys remember what is that, right? What is that? That is 14 over 2. And you have your two roots, 10 plus 14, which is 24 divided by 2. That's going to be 12. And the other one is 10 minus 4, which is negative 2 divided by 2, negative 4 divided by 2, negative 2. Okay? Now be careful, do not rush now, because all you have to do is to say, hey, 1x equals 12, the other x equals negative 2. But now if you want to move everything on one side, I need that to write my binomials, right? I will subtract 12 from both sides in this one, and what you get? You get x minus 12 equals 0, and from the other one, I'm adding 2 to both sides, you have x plus 2 equals 0. And this will be your factors for the given trinomial, right? x minus 12 times x plus 2 now, and yes, D gives me that, x minus 12 times x plus 2. And this was another approach. Like I said, if by any reason you don't remember how to look at your last term and find its coefficients, and then see if they add up to the middle term's coefficient or not, and work like that, okay? If you don't remember this, don't freak out. Do not panic. You're going to use the quadratic formula and find its factors by going this way. This is a harder way, longer, more time consuming, right? However, it gives you the right answer and gives you the chance to answer it right, then you are fine. Okay? Whatever means, whatever legal means, go by that. I mean, if you don't remember, you're not capable of solving the problem in any other way, well, use it whichever way works for you and get the right answer and then move on. And always remember, if there is no other way for you to solve it, if you don't know, you have no clue how to solve that problem, well, then guess, okay? Bubble in an answer for that problem. Do not leave it unanswered, because you may guess. You have a very, very good chance to get it right. Now, do not apply this to every problem, because that would be wrong. Only to the problems where you have no clue and there is no way for you to solve it. But before you do that, try everything you remember, try everything you can, okay? Thank you very much. Let's go for another one.